was a job, and it had never been done as a animated show. I didn't even know it had never been done as an animated show. For me, it was an acting audition. Oddly enough, the reason I got into this audition, and I didn't know this until years later, was because of work I'd done at the Public Theater in New York for Joe Papp. One of the casting people was a guy named Anthony Borneo, and Anthony was a friend of Andrea Romano's. And Andreas was calling him and complaining, I can't find my Batman, I can't find my Batman. And Anthony, I didn't even know this, was a fan of my work at the Public. He said, you know, there's a really interesting young actor I know from New York, and he's in LA right now. And he, interestingly, thought, wouldn't it make sense to have someone in the classics do Batman? And no one had made that kind of analogy before of the fact that Batman's really less than a comic book character. He's more like a classic mythological character. He's like Orestes, he's like Achilles, you know what I mean? He's epic that way, and he's got one of those big, epic, dramatic arcs to his story that is kind of perfect for someone who is used to playing Shakespeare and Greek dramas, you know what I mean? So, and that's the way I approached it. And I didn't know any of this about Anthony being instrumental in putting my name in there until years later.
There's a Shakespearean tragedy.
Oh, there is, absolutely. When I was in the audition, I met Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski, and they said, well, what do you know about Batman? What's your background? And I said, well, all I really know is the Adam West show from the 60s. And he went, no, that's not what we're doing. We love Adam West, but that's not what we're doing. He said, don't you know the Dark Knight stories or didn't you read comic books when you were a kid? I said, no, I didn't read any of these. I don't know that. So he said, well, let me bring you up to speed. And he said, you know, his parents were killed when he was young. He's been avenging their deaths. He's dual personality. He lives in the caves and the shadows. He's misunderstood. I said, this is Hamlet. I said, you realize this is Hamlet? And this has been done. And he said, Bruce laughed. I remember he said, well, no one's said that in this audition before.